like a Boeing. If the volume spikes, then it's time to trade. Mighty 90 setting up, it's time to get paid. Navigation trading on the mic, time to get focused. We don't need any indicator, hocus pocus. It's all about the price, just watch it move. Manage your risks so you don't lose. First hour of trading is all we need. Focus on the patience and forget about greed.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's day trading live stream. Today is Monday, February 23rd. We got the S&P futures down 17, NASDAQ down 101, Russell down 13, Dow down 168. All about the same. Russell's a little bit weaker. Gold and silver on the move again. Gold's up 2%, silver up over 4.5%. Notes and bonds, a little bit green, 10-year yield down a little over 0.5%, oil up 0.5%, natural gas up 0.5%, soybeans, wheat, and corn all a little bit red, euro and the pound a little bit green, Bitcoin down 2.5%. VIX getting the normal Monday pump, with stocks selling off a little bit, up 5%. It's right above 20.06. Stocks were actually down quite a bit more overnight, down about 50. I saw the S&P down 50 at one point. Now only down 16, so a little bit of a buy up off the overnight action. As far as biggest movers, I'm seeing on my pre-market watch list, PDD, SNDK, HIMS, all a little bit green. Google's up 1%. NVIDIA's up about 0.5%. On the red side, a lot of quantum names, RGTI, OKLO, CoreWeave's down 3, Sound, QBTS, all pretty red. A lot of the Mag 7 just slightly red, Chip slightly red. Pretty similar to the indices. Opening bell here in about 90 seconds. At the freeze, SPX showing an expected range of about 42, maybe 44 or 45-ish with the VIX calculation. Watson's on the Watson, you're on your tea kick, huh? No more coffee for you? Did you get cut off of coffee? Trying to lead a healthier lifestyle? Or you just don't like coffee? I've been mixing it up with a little mushroom coffee lately, but I like my coffee. Oh, it's the old mushroom coffee. Nothing that's gonna make me hallucinate. Only clear-minded mushrooms. All right, opening bell on its way in the door. 3, 2, 1. There it is. Oh, I will be firing a 1 DTE and a 3-4 put calendar. Getting a little bounce out of the gate. S&P trying to get up towards positive territory. My 1 DTE and my 3-4 should be firing here shortly. PLTR and some of the chip stocks dipping. AVGO's holding strong. S&P pushing. Tesla at previous day low, Nvidia bouncing, Apple bouncing. S&P and NASDAQ acting strong. Google fairly strong. S&P going green. I'm going to load up some Tesla puts on the 2-day options. I'll do the 405s. Market's acting strong, Nvidia strong, but Tesla showing relative weakness here at previous day low. Now we got the chip stocks starting to bounce. I'm gonna load up some Nvidia calls. Also the 2-day option. Excuse me. What? No 2-day options on Nvidia? All right, 4-day. I'd look at the 190, or the 195 calls in Nvidia. AVGO very strong. Nvidia coming up to the top of this consolidation range on its daily chart that it keeps bumping its head on. Kind of that 192, 195 level. Oh yeah, PLTR is weak as well. PLTR, I would trade the 4-day puts using the 128 strike. right, so Tesla puts, PLTR puts, and NVIDIA calls is what I have my eye on. I'm watching Tesla. NASDAQ dipping. IWM staying strong. SPY staying strong. Google kind of came back and retested its previous day high. Definitely got some, not a lot of confluence here. Got some things going different directions. Crypto's weak. Hood falling. Hood's down almost 4%. NVIDIA pulling back. Tesla dipped. Hasn't breached lows yet. SNDK is popping. Tezzy's dip getting bought up a little bit. S&P, yeah, strength coming in. S&P approached previous day high. NASDAQ still well away from its previous day high. Same with IWM. Yeah, Meta's little dip getting bought up. All right, Tesla's dipping back down now. MU popping up. AVGO staying strong. PLTR continuing lower. Tesla tried to push lows again and no follow through. Microsoft weak now. I guess it has been weak. S&P dipping. NASDAQ dipping. Russell dipping. Tesla new lows. NASDAQ showing some serious weakness. Amazon weak. Google not holding previous day high now. IWM pulling back to this pre-market high level. If I took IWM calls, I would do the 1 DTE and I would use the 264. Chips pulling back pretty hard now. MU, AMD, AVGO. IWM giving it up now. Bitcoin giving it up with volume. Still watching IWM longs here.
Order filled.
Microsoft still bleeding. Netflix bleeding. Nvidia's holding up pretty well. Tesla making new lows. All right, watching IWM. Banks giving it up. MSTR trying to bounce. Every time the S&P and NASDAQ just kind of pause, Russell looks like it wants to bounce. I'm still watching it if it wants to reclaim that pre-market high. Also watching NVIDIA. It's holding up fairly well compared to some of these others. Microsoft still giving it up. Amazon, Google, Tesla, Netflix still bleeding. IWM could not reclaim. It's getting back down. NASDAQ trying to bounce a little bit. Bitcoin bouncing. MSTR, big bounce up to highs of day. Nvidia still trying to hold. Goog popping back up to previous day high. I'm going to load up some calls in Google. 4-day options, 320 calls. Google, nice bounce. I'm going to hold off on that Google reclaim, but it's pushing back above previous day high. Apple chopping around previous day high. Tesla staying weak. Microsoft, Amazon, Netflix all staying weak. Pretty aggressive bounce in PLTR. Aggressive bounce in AMD back up to highs. IWM giving it up now. All right, aggressive bounce coming in on the indices, but Tesla, Netflix still saying super heavy.
Order cancelled. Order partially filled. Order filled. Order filled.
Everything getting a little bounce here. I'm going to load up some calls in AMD. For DTE, I would do the 200 calls. MU just went green. Google chopping around previous day high still, says Apple. Tesla new lows. I'm going to load up some QQQ puts. 1 DTE. I would trade the 604s. We got S&P had a big rejection off that previous day high. We're getting this bounce here, but if this starts to get sold off, IWM's selling off. I'm watching the QQQ puts here. All right, I'm going to take QQQ puts here. It's the 1 DTE 604s. I got filled at 304. Got the S&P pushing down to lows. IWM's falling apart. Let's see if NASDAQ can follow here. We are seeing a little bit of strength in some of these chip stocks, but Tesla new lows. If we get back above that top of this current candle, I'd be cutting. Thought maybe we were going to get a quick flush through lows. Still might. AMD kind of rolling over below previous day low. NVIDIA starting to roll over a bit. Not roll over, but dipping. Tesla new lows. First profit target I have set at 340. Not quite down to lows of day. S&P just broke lows. Banks coming down. Crypto's still bouncing. Some of the chips had a little pause pullback, but they're kind of staying stronger, the chips are.
Order filled.
S&P pushing new lows. Russell pushing new lows. I need the weakness to come in the NASDAQ here. Yeah, chips are staying strong, and they're holding up tech, holding up the Qs here. Nvidia's starting to bounce again. IWM pushing previous day low. Where's my Q weakness? All right, starting to get a little weakness coming in. I need NASDAQ through lows of day. It would hit first profit target before lows, but any kind of decent win needs to go through lows of day. Goog tried to pop back up above previous day high. It's getting rejected. Apple's still chopping it unchanged. Meta rejecting back down to lows. But yeah, it's the chip stocks that are still holding some decent strength here, although MU just rejected off previous day high. IWM flush through previous day low down to overnight lows. Kind of pausing at the overnight lows area. S&P new low of day. Come on, Qs. Join your buddies here. Help. Come join your buddies. Getting close to profit target. There's 340 just hit. Actually, I got a partial fill at my 340 profit target. Only filled 5 of 10. And popped back up. Let's see, did we have any news come out here just now? Something kind of jittered. No, we don't have anything. Just hit that 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Eastern. Well, I got a partial first profit target. Now it's bouncing. All right, I'm going to cut my remaining Qs. I didn't get that flush through lows. Filled at 278 on those. So small loser there. Russell still holding weak. PLTR starting to bounce heavy, bounce hard. Not heavy. Crypto stocks still bouncing. Banks still pushing lower. I may re-enter Qs here. I'm still watching it. Kind of popped up like it was going to be aggressive. IWM still pushing down. Man, I guess IWM was the one. I was kind of watching the S&P and IWM action. I took NASDAQ, but either one of S&P and IWM definitely would have been better. Which they were acting weaker, but I was kind of expecting tech to follow lower. All right, now we're getting some weakness. All right, I'm going to get back in Qs. Filled at 354. I'll do a 380 first profit target. It's got to push through lows. IWM getting dirty with volume. All right, got to get that flush through lows now from the Qs. Banks still flushing. Crypto's now rejecting. And the chip stocks rejecting as well. So let's see if we get this flush through lows. All right, there we go. Filled at 380 on the Qs. See if we can get that move down to pre-market lows in the Qs. I have my next profit target set at 420. I may drop that down a little bit. Problem is, premiums kind of spiked when I got in, so I'm not that well into a profit here. All right, little bit of buyers popping up after it flushed through lows of day. I want to see the Qs reject again here pretty quickly, otherwise I'll just cut. Russell's starting to bounce a little bit. S&P a little bounce. NASDAQ a little bounce. I mean, for these extended looking moves in the S&P and Russell, definitely not really seeing that good of action in any stocks. I mean, you could have taken an early short in Tesla, would have been obviously nice. IWM, after it rejected that on that 850 bar, that could have been a possible. Yeah, AVGO's holding up well. Intel holding up well. Amazon strong. Tesla's starting to bounce. NASDAQ coming down a little bit. See if we can get another profit target in the Qs. I'm going to move that down to 410 in the Qs. See if I can get some more off. Russell continuing lower. SPY continuing lower. Yeah, NVIDIA pulling back now. It's been holding up all morning. Q's almost got to my second PT, and now it's bouncing again. Tesla flush Thursdays, trying to get back up to Thursday's lows. All right, seeing some buyers starting to come in here. Apple creeping back up towards highs of day. Nvidia is coming down. NASDAQ and S&P bounce, getting pushed back down. SMH trying to hold on to unchanged. Watson, you caught part of Meta. Anybody else take anything? IWM still at lows. Brandon, you took Nvidia early. You took calls. Gotcha. Yeah, Nvidia giving it up now, coming back down to pre-market highs. IWM new lows, SPY new lows. Qs are just holding up better than I had hoped here. Circle back down through lows. MSTR, coin, all rejecting. Hood almost back down to lows. Banks have just been straight downhill. All three of them had a green or an up bar the first 5 minutes. And then all down. Microsoft rolling back over. Tesla actually shown a little bit of relative strength the last 10 minutes after being weak all morning. Banks not having a good day. Tesla just kind of pausing at that Thursday low area. All right, here comes the Qs again. Let's see if we can bank a little more. S&P through lows, Russell through lows. Just looking for a move down to pre-market or overnight lows here in the Qs. Just about that 602.40 level. All this down move in the S&P, my 1 DTE is still green. Barely green, but green.
Order filled.
IWM still moving lower. Bitcoin trying to bounce. Nvidia still coming down. Nvidia just went through lows of day. Tesla bouncing back above Thursday's lows. Tesla showing some good strength here. Last 15 minutes. Tesla could be entered as a reversal here. NASDAQ just chopping. Kind of getting a little bouncy. Goog trying to pop back up to previous day high. Netflix, big bounce. Yeah, SPX getting close to its lower expected move for the day. All right, NASDAQ starting to bounce. I'm going to cut my Qs. Filled at 313. Getting some decent bounces coming in here. Apple through highs, big bounce in Microsoft, Meta, Tesla, Netflix. Chip stocks starting to bounce. AVGO back up towards highs. Intel at highs. SMH staying green. So I hit a partial first profit target, and I hit a full first profit target. I'm still a little bit red on my Qs overall. A couple $100. IWM trying to go new lows. I don't know. I don't see anything else I really want to entertain here. Tesla kind of rejecting now. Yeah, Apple just ticked highs of day, but could have worked right there. Previous day high, previous day close. All right, Tesla getting back on the weaker side now. S&P new lows. Russell new lows. NASDAQ holding. Yeah, IWM, which has a lot of regional banks in it, is feeling the pressure with the financials. And look at same story, JPM, Goldman, Bank of America, all just super weak. Intel strong. No, we kind of tend to need our financial institutions, don't we, to be a strong economy. Bitcoin rejecting. Well, my friends, there goes Apple again. I don't see anything I'm gonna get in here in the near future, so I'm gonna wrap the live stream. Continue to watch for a bit, and if I see something else, I'll post in the trade channel. Otherwise, everybody have a fantastic Monday, and we will see you in Power Hour. Cheers.